All right, guys, welcome to Take Your Base. I'm your host, Flavo Oriana, brought to you by Four Corner Sports. All right, guys. So, guys, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I officially do believe that it is officially over. The Mets season is done. Yesterday, they had a 3-game series in Miami, and they had one job to do, and they just needed to get a victory to at least win the series and go and start off having their homestand against the Yankees, which they're gonna have a 9-game homestand facing the Yankees, the Cardinals, and the Phillies. And guys, I am very afraid to say that it's done. The season's over. The season is over. The Mets failed once again to beat up on teams that they're supposed to beat. This was the easiest part of the month of the schedule. They had to face the Nationals last week. They faced the Marlins this week, and they were in Nationals Park last weekend. I didn't make a video of it. They had a rare 5-game series, right? Originally it was supposed to be a 4-game series, but because of the fact that they had to make up a game, because of a rain delay or a postponement because of rain, it would turn into a 5-game series. And normally I'm okay with it, but I was thinking about it more and more, and I'm like, you know what? I don't really like this just because even though the Nationals aren't a great team outside of having Juan Soto, and you also have Josh Bell. Nationals are gonna start building up recognition on these pitchers, right? They're gonna build up recognition on Carlos Carrasco, Tyler McGill, Marcus Stroman, who's having a great year, Taijuan Walker, who is struggling ever since the All-Star break, and they're gonna start recognizing the relief pitchers: Aaron Loup, Seth Lugo, Edwin Diaz, who blows games as if it's like water. Come on, man. I mean, this guy. Oh yeah. This guy was just blowing games like crazy. This past week, all right. Blew a game in Nationals Park. Blew 2 games in Miami, all right. And it's just like yeah, man. I don't know what's gonna happen. I mean, I can only imagine how Steve Cohen is feeling because how much of a competitor he is and how he doesn't like to lose. He I don't know if he's gonna have to restructure this team in a way, blow it up or whatever, outside of giving up Alonso. Michael Conforto's been coming out of his shell, but it's kind of a little bit too late at this point. Guys, I think the season's over. I understand that the Mets are gonna be facing the Yankees tonight. I believe it is McGill versus Jordan Montgomery. All right, Yankees are another team who is struggling. They're 2 of 8 in their last 10 games. They lost a bunch of games to the Baltimore Orioles. So you got 2 bad New York teams right now, just trying to stay afloat, trying to make it to the wild card for the Mets. I mean, their best chance is the NL East, but I don't even think that's possible because they're 5 games out. There's no way. It's very little chance that they're gonna be able to make up that ground for the wild card. They're also 5 games out too. They're 1 game under 500. They got 1 series left against the Phillies. They got 1 series left against the Atlanta Braves. They got 1 series left against the Miami Marlins, who they face in a 4-game series in their last homestand. So yeah, guys, I just don't see how they're gonna be able to get this done. They're gonna need to pull out at least 2 or 3, if not go for a complete sweep against the Yankees. I don't see that happening whatsoever. I actually do see the Yankees getting 2 or 3 out of the Mets, if not a clean sweep. Then they're facing the Cardinals, who are above them in the wild card standings. All right, Cardinals are 71-68. They're 3 games out of the wild card spot. So they would need to at least get a clean sweep on that. But I don't see that as possible just because the Mets, the lack of pitching, their bullpen is completely worn out. You also have now the blunders of Edwin Diaz, who is extremely streaky. All right, and when he's hot, there's almost nobody that can beat him. But when he is completely cold and has very little confidence, I mean, this guy just gives up home runs like as if it's like free, like as if it's it's needed, as if it's like a stimulus check or something like that. But yeah, it's looking bad out there in Mets world. I just don't see the Mets coming back, and getting themselves close to contention to get the NL East crown or get into the second wild card. All right. Ideally, I do believe that it'll be better if they get the NL East crown, because then they'll face like the Milwaukee Brewers. But I believe they are facing the Milwaukee Brewers at some point. Yeah, they're facing the Brewers and they're facing the Red Sox. So go figure. They're going to be facing two teams that are going to be most likely going into the playoffs. I believe the Brewers look like they got that. Well, the Brewers are definitely going into the playoffs. The Red Sox, more likely than not, they're going to at least secure one of the two wild card spots, unless Oakland goes on some like ridiculous run or something like that, and the Yankees too, which knocking them out, or if Toronto doesn't, keep on hitting the way that they're hitting right now with that explosive lineup. But yeah, so Mets have a 3-game series, a Subway Series, at Citi Field this weekend, facing the Cardinals. I personally just see that this is going to go terribly wrong, the way that everything has been going. I see, honestly, in this homestand, in this 6-game homestand, this 9-game homestand, I really do see that the Mets might honestly go like 3-6. As sad as that is, I see they may possibly win just one game out of every series and just lose 2 of them. It just sucks, but that's just the reality of it. Hopefully next year, with the news that we got from DeGrom, where it sounds something similar to what Tanaka had, like a UCL tear, but it Sandy Alderson said that it kind of healed itself. I don't really understand how a UCL tear heals itself, but the way that Michael K was describing it on his podcast, on the Michael K show, is like, if you rip a piece of paper, it's bound to break more if you keep on using it. But they were suggesting that just don't even pitch him at all. I wouldn't even pitch him at all this year. But Donald Greco from the Michael K show, said, hey, if it's in a tear now, why don't you just let it tear now, when the season's useless, as opposed to just tearing in the beginning of next season, where this guy won't be used at all. Me personally, I'd rather just hold off and let him pitch next year and just micromanage him to see how it is for next year moving on forward. But Steve Cohen definitely needs to upgrade this whole roster. Trade out McNeil, trade out Dom Smith. I would bring back Michael Conforto on a 1-year deal, on a qualifying offer, see if he takes it or not, where he could prove himself if he's worthy of a long-term contract and $100 million contract. I would most likely bring back Javi Baez, but trade JD Davis, get me better pitchers. Give me a better bullpen. Try to see what you can do with Edwin Diaz. I know that we have Robinson Cano coming back. Try to get rid of that contract too. There's just a list of stuff that you might need to get done. Get rid of some players, just because there's no reason why this team, who has I believe they're like top 5 in payroll, they should not be this bad right now. They should not be 1 game under 500. Unacceptable whatsoever. Unacceptable. But yeah, guys, that's my take. All right, guys, let me know what you guys think. In the comment section below. Let me know what you think the Mets should possibly do. Is the season over, or you guys still have some faith that the Mets are able to pull it around? I know they're 5 games out of the NL East, and as for the wild card, but it's looking pretty rough in my opinion. Until then, guys, I'm your host, Slavo Rihanna. Thank you for tuning in. Please hit the like and subscribe button, guys, and I'll see you guys next time. So then, peace, and see you later.